Wales squad for the November test has been announced, folks, by Warren Gatland. We see the return of a number of veteran players for the squad, plus a couple of uncapped guys. They have Fiji, Australia, and South Africa on their fixtures list. We'll go through them. The squad, who do you think's been hard done by to miss out? Who's lucky to be there? What are the expectations for Wales this November? Warren Gatland sighs a lot in his press conferences. I hope he gets a couple of wins, because Warren needs cheering up. He doesn't seem to be, I don't know, like Warren can be a pleasant guy in press conferences. I've seen it before. He can smile, but yeah, he just seems to be a bit, I don't want to say in a sour mood, but he doesn't seem that chuffed to be in charge of Wales at the moment. Maybe just attending press conferences is a pain in the backside. I don't know, but hopefully he gets a good return from the players he's picked. I actually kind of like this squad for the most part, because the return of the veterans sees the kind of balance of youth and experience, I feel like, fit a little bit better. He's had his hand forced in the past with a bunch of retirements to kind of delve deep into the kind of youth ranks of Welsh rugby, which when you chuck them into the test arena can sometimes be a bit much. But you've got the return of the likes of Nicky Smith, you got Will Rowlands back, you got Adam Baird back, you got Gareth Anscombe back. I mean, it's not always a good idea to just go with the veterans, but I feel like there is a healthy balance to be found. There is mentoring roles to be had, and there's, guys with experience who can handle that kind of pressure. So yeah, I feel like the balance is a good one for this Welsh squad. And I don't want to be all doom and gloom about them. I feel like they can lift the performance levels where they haven't been kind of optimal, to be putting it mildly, in recent times. Elias, Lake and Lloyd are the three hookers. Lake is going to captain the side, even though Jack Morgan is also returning to the side, but Lake is going to captain, so one would assume he's going to start. Is it going to be Elias or is it going to be Lloyd on the bench? Lloyd's the youngster. He's got like 5 Welsh caps, but all of them from the bench. He may kind of continue for that bench role. I mentioned Nicky Smith's return. By all accounts, he's been in pretty good form. They are not broadcasting the premiership here this season in NZ, but he has been playing for Leicester, and by all accounts, as I said, playing the house down. So with 46 caps, he is the most experienced prop in the squad, and certainly one of the most capped players in the squad, which sees a number of players kind of in that single-digit territory. Matthias Thomas, that's Gareth Thomas, Griffin, the other Thomas, which is Henry, and Asarati are the other props. I like Henry Thomas. I feel like Wales, with their scrum, needs that kind of veteran, just big unit to just prop the scrum. Yeah, you don't want your scrum going backwards, and I feel like Henry Thomas can help at least get parity against some of the other packs they are going to be facing. Against the Aussies, they may have me looking to go for dominance, depending on what squad they pick and how many props they've got available. Locks, Baird, Carter, Rowlands, and Freddie Thomas. Freddie Thomas is one of the uncapped guys, can play a bit of loose forward as well, but he's certainly a youngster at only 22, one of 5 guys who's based in Gloucester. Could have hung a Gloucester jersey with the amount of guys Gats has picked from that Gloucester squad. But yeah, Freddie Thomas, congratulations to him for his pick. I mentioned like Rowlands and Baird, there's a couple of experienced guys. And then Gats has shown a lot of faith in Ben Carter, who's a proper work rate guy in that second row. Back rowers, I mean, Tunes, I can also fill in the second row if needs be, but he's there. Both of them, Morgan, Plumtree, Reffel, and Wainwright. I feel like it's one area you don't lack for Lucy's. Like, I love watching Morgan Morris play. I feel like for mine, if I was going to pick one guy if I could force Gatland to pick one guy in the squad, it'd be Morgan Morris. Like, I am a big stats dude, and he always has positive contributions in every game he plays. I don't know what Gats doesn't like about him. Maybe he thinks he's a bit small, but maybe he just got too many good looses. I mean, Aaron Wainwright's not really played any rugby because he's coming back from an injury, but I mean, even flipping Tane Basham can't make the squad. And he's been in good form as well. I mean, Mackenzie Martin's been favoured before. He doesn't make the squad. Shane Lewis-Hughes doesn't make the squad. Like, the amount of Lucy's you guys have got not in the squad could form a pretty good back row of their own. That's just, you guys just don't struggle. I mean, Jack Morgan is going to push most guys off one of the flanks, basically, because you feel like pretty much surefire to be a starter. He is proper X Factor. So, yeah, that's the forwards. Like I mentioned, there's a few guys who miss out, but I am pleased with the return of some of the veterans, especially in the front row, who can hopefully keep parity and potentially even push some of the other packs around. Probably not the box. to be fair, but you'd like to get dominance over Fiji and Australia, who aren't like renowned for their scrummaging. Certainly there are other areas of the game that get more praise than their front rows. Backs wise, Ellis Bevan, Thomas Williams and Rodri Williams are the 3 nines. Remember, Gareth Davis retired very recently, otherwise he may have been in the squad. Also no Kieran Hardy with this one, so the 2 Williams boys are kind of returning into the squad. And there's been another guy who's had a lot of praises sung about the way he's been playing with Gloucester. That's Thomas Williams. Be interesting to see if he's the kind of favoured guy to get a start. And Rodri Williams only had 3 caps at 31. He's a veteran, but Gat said he likes the way he's been playing for the Dragons. So big congrats to him for being back in the squad. The 10s is going to be a controversial one because Sam Costello gets a lot of grief, and he's alongside Gareth Anscombe. Gareth Anscombe hasn't played for Wales for a wee while. He's had pretty poor luck with injuries, but he's been playing at Gloucester, funnily enough, at 33 years old. You kind of wonder if Gats could have gone for the likes of a Yohan Lloyd or a Edwards or, I don't know, Sheedy, but he's gone with the guy he knows in Anscombe, and then he's gone with the guy he seems to have a lot of faith in Costello. I'm not sold on Costello either at international level. He's not been starting for the Scarlets for the last couple of games. It's been Lloyd starting at 10. But maybe from the bench, I don't know. He potentially needs more time, but he has had 15 caps. So, yeah, it's kind of an interesting one. Because I saw Callum Sheedy have a really bad game the other day as well, where he just couldn't tackle to save his life. So, it's a tough one at 10 at the moment for Wales. Like, you guys have gone from having the likes of do you pick Anscombe or do you pick Bigger to now it's a bit tougher. Grady, James, Ben Thomas, Tompkins and Watkin are the midfielders. That's pretty stable. I think all those guys were in the squad in the kind of most recent series. And then outside backs, there are a few kind of introductions. You got Rio Dyer, who's still there. Max Llewellyn is back into the Welsh squad. Josh Hathaway keeps his spot. He's the youngest guy in the squad alongside Cam Winnett. Those guys are both only 21. And then Blair Murray, who played a really good game the other day for the Scarlets. He's Welsh qualified through his mum. He's a Kiwi, but kind of like Gareth. Gareth Gats likes his Welsh Kiwis. But I mean, you've got a Welsh mum, you're pretty bloody Welsh. So, yeah, he looks the business. Gats talked about him being quick and having a good left foot. So, we'll see how he goes. Tom Rogers also back into the side. And Cam Winnett kind of retains that spot. So, there's not many caps in those outside backs. Like Max Llewellyn's got 1. Josh Hathaway's got 1. Blair Murray's uncapped. Tom Rogers has got 4. And Cam Winnett's got 7. Although I think Cam Winnett's been a pretty safe pair of hands at the back. Like, he's not been setting the world on fire, but he's not looked out of place at test level. Gats also talked up Ben Thomas as being maybe like the form back in Welsh Rugby playing for Cardiff at the minute. So, yeah, he may be kind of hinting at him getting a start. Remember, I don't think Liam Williams is available, who would have been another veteran to kind of have in the ranks because he's over in Japan. So I don't think he would have been available to be... The Japanese clubs sometimes don't release the players. I think that's just the way it goes. I don't think he's injured. I did read one report that he's injured, but I think it's just club stuff. But yeah, that's the squad. I mean, who misses out from the backs? I mean, Josh Adams is injured. I mean, Kieran Hardy's going to be one of the first guys that comes to mind. But yeah, I think overall, I do like the squad. I'm not sure about 10. If Gareth Anscombe is the solution for now, that's interesting, but he's 33. How long does he keep playing? Daffeth Jenkins obviously injured. Yeah, he's kind of switched up with the props. There's no Harry O'Connor, there's no Dylan Lewis, no Corey Domachowski, no Leon Brown. So it's a little bit of a mix and match, but I don't know. I'm optimistic. What can I say? I hope this Welsh squad is going to go well. Fiji, Australia, and South Africa. The South Africa one's going to be tough, for sure. You would feel like the Fiji and Australia games are winnable for this Welsh squad. I don't want to say either of them is easy, because the Fijian side won the Pacific Nations Cup. They beat Japan over in Japan. Their front row is not bad. Like, I wouldn't mean to be dismissing them as not having a good front row. They got some good front rowers. So they'll certainly give Wales a test. And then Australia, as Gats also mentioned, are in a similar position with kind of rebuilding efforts going on with their squad at the moment. So certainly a winnable one. Yeah, South Africa are going to be tough. But anyway, Test match rugby back on the way. You guys let us know your thoughts on the Welsh squad. Who do you reckon's been hard done by? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would greatly appreciate that. We'll have more squads as they come out. New Zealand's playing this weekend against Japan, which will also be an interesting one. But yeah, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.